With Lagos State gearing towards establishing its own airline, the Alliance for Yoruba Democratic Movement has called upon the governors of the 6 southwest states to establish Oodua Airlines. The concerned state involves Lagos, Ogun, Oyo, Ondo, Ekiti, and Osun states. The group noted that the airline must be dedicated to both local and international routes, citing its high potentials for success. The group also emphasized the viability of the initiative, stating that it would complement existing private endeavors, leading to reduced air travel costs, job creation, and advancement in tourism and agriculture within the region and Nigeria at large. The brains behind this idea have already communicated its proposal to the state governors, urging them to prioritize the establishment of Oodua Airlines. Highlighting the substantial Yoruba population residing in West Africa, Europe, and America, the group underscored the necessity for a regional airline to provide an alternative to foreign carriers. They also noted the significant potential for the airline to cater to the transportation needs of both people and agro-products, thereby boosting economic activities in Nigeria. Whilst acknowledging the commendable efforts of AirPCEO, the group stressed that most stakeholders must invest in the aviation sector. They proposed that the Southwest state collaborate to establish a regional airline, citing it as a crucial step towards addressing unemployment and enhancing tourism. Drawing inspiration from the success of the Ibom Air, established by the Akwa Ibom state government, the group urged Southwest governors to expedite the establishment of Oodua Airlines. They suggested Ibadan as a commercial hub and emphasized the readiness of airports across the region to support increased air traffic. To advance this initiative, the group have urged the governors to establish a technical committee promptly, asserting that numerous aviation companies worldwide will be eager to partner with the Southwest states on the project. Since the beginning of the Fourth Republic in 1999, one cardinal agenda of Southwest geopolitical zone is to forge a common front for the development and progress of the region. This is besides the persistent clamor for restructuring of the nation's governance system, which the Yorubas have always championed over the years. The two major socio-political and cultural organizations that have been at the forefront of the agenda are the Afenifere and Afenifere Renewal Group, but these have been projected under a coordinated body of professionals and experts, known as the Development Agenda for Western Nigeria, popularly known as Down Commission. On several occasions, governors of the 6 states of the region have had cause to gather in Oyo, Lagos, and Ondo states with eagerness to put back on track the lost development drive of the region through what they termed Regional Integration Cooperation. Recall that in 2012, the 6 governors of the zone gathered in Lagos to examine what went wrong with the region, with a view to restoring its opportunities and potentials. At the time, the former governor of Oyo State then expressed concern as to why the Southwest could not reinvent itself to repeat its previous achievements and strides in areas of economy, education, and commerce. It was then resolved that if the Western region was a pace-setter in infrastructure, quality of human capital, and the likes, it could recreate the noble pedigree, especially now and for the benefit of the upcoming generation. At the time, 4 critical aspects of the polity were identified as having been lost and or mismanaged by the present stakeholders in the Southwest, which are education, transportation, agriculture, and security. In the last 24 years, the governors of the region as well as its various stakeholders have not been able to find lasting solutions or a way forward to address these issues. But in recent times, Southwest stakeholders have been reinvigorating efforts to bring the region up to speed for even development and economic restructuring, which is why it is pushing in for the adoption of the Oodua Airlines, which is actually going to serve as a regional airline for the Southwestern region. If eventually realized, the airline will symbolize cultural pride and economic empowerment for the Yoruba nation. As a matter of fact, it will embody Yoruba heritage, promoting cultural identity and unity. Another importance of the airline will be that it could create jobs, stimulate local economies, and connect Yoruba in diaspora. The Oodua Airways will also facilitate international travel, fostering global relationships and trade. It will also showcase Yoruba advancements in business, aviation, and infrastructure. Going further, the airline will promote Yoruba cultural sites, festivals, and traditions, attracting tourists. It will also unite Yoruba people worldwide, fostering solidarity and shared identity. The airline could facilitate cultural exchange programs, education, and art. And finally, it will invoke national pride, symbolizing Yoruba achievement and resilience. The air transport industry in Nigeria experienced a landmark event in 1985 when entry into the domestic airline sector and airfares were formally deregulated. The narratives around the industry gradually changed from the national carrier focus to one focused on private carriers. By 2003, the industry was composed entirely of private carriers. Apart from deregulating the airline services, government in recent years is gradually divesting from air transport infrastructure and encouraging provisions of these by the private sector as well. Some gains of private participation are readily observable in the airline sector, namely increased competition, more efficient electronic-based booking systems, and discount fares in some cases. The air transport subsector in Nigeria accounts for the second highest share of modal contribution to transport output. The road subsector accounts for as much as 84% of transport GDP, while air transport share in the last couple of years has averaged about 6 to 7%. The industry has also witnessed a high turnover of domestic carriers since the regulations. Generally, many of the local airlines experienced in the industry have been short-lived, with many often operating a few years and then folding up. Currently, there are only a few number of active scheduled domestic passenger carriers in Nigerian airline industry, although total number of active Nigerian registered carriers is put at about 23 or more. In Nigeria, the demand for a particular goods or service depends on a variety of factors, among them consumers' taste, income level, price and quality of the product in question, and the prices of other goods, especially goods that are close to substitute. As a general rule, when other influences on demand remain unchanged, the higher price for a product results in a lower quantity demanded. However, the price responsiveness of demand varies from one good to another and from one market to another. Despite the high local passenger traffic in Nigeria's aviation sector, the country failed to maximize such opportunity in growing very strong airlines until recently, when government has decided to make the air transport sector more viable. In the past 63 years of Nigeria's independence, there were not much to cheer, but in the last 1 year, hope started growing in the horizon as the current administration is beginning to address the key knotty issues that retarded the industry since Nigeria gained independence in 1960. In view of the new development taking place in the aviation industry in the last 1 year, industry stakeholders have highlighted key factors in Nigeria's aviation industry that can determine its growth, to include policies that drive the industry, effective implementation of such policies, strong airlines, high passenger growth, efficient regulations, modern airports, viability of operators and contributions to the nation's GDP. In the area of policies, the current government has realized that without the right policies in place, the industry will still oscillate in the realm of mediocrity. Hence, they are already putting things in place to grow strong airlines, to ensure that the airlines operate safely, and also to ensure that the issues that hindered their growth in the past were eliminated. In the area of infrastructure, the government has promised concession of major airports under the management of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, private sector driven with apparent transparent process. Also, in a bid to encourage more investors into the airline industry, the government has established Consumer Protection Portal. The establishment marked a significant step towards creating platforms for interface between airlines, NCAA, and air travelers in accordance with international practices and standards. The portal offers a comprehensive platform where passengers can lodge complaints, access real-time data on airline performance, and monitor punctuality and on-time operations of airlines. The portal will also serve as a valuable resource for the aviation industry, offering data and tools for research and development, and contributing to informed decision-making that can ultimately improve service delivery.